come along on today's journey on the GO Laurel Highlands Adventure Series. I'm your host, Kelli Brisbane, and on this episode, we visit some of the amazing craft beverage makers participating in our Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. Okay, we are here with Ann Nemenick. She's the Executive Director of GO Laurel Highlands and my boss. And we're going to just ask a few questions about how Pour Tour got started. It's the Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. So Ann, can you just tell everybody a little bit about why this began, how it began, and how exciting it is that this continues for the local economy?
Thanks, Kelli. It started in 2019 and it really was just a vision. You know, we started out and we said, could we? Should we? And then finally we said, let's just do it. And so it was launched in 2019. We know what happened after that, an international pandemic, but this allowed people to do something. And it really was rewarding, not only for the patrons of the Pour Tour, but also for all of the craft beverage makers. Very cool. It's an economic impact. Over $1 million has been infused back into the economy. And for me, what I love is it really is discovery. People are discovering things in the Laurel Highlands that they never would have before.
Absolutely.
So it's really a journey through the Laurel Highlands with just a nice little simple passport.
And what is the difference now with 3.0? Can you tell us maybe, are there different prizes? Are there more locations?
It's twofold. Thanks for asking. It really is grown. You know, this is the single largest segment in our tourism industry of growth. It's the craft beverage makers. And the levels have increased, so you're going to have to drink a little bit more. But there's over 50 establishments and some terrific prizes along the way. But most importantly, you're going to enjoy your journey, you're going to make new friends, and you're going to discover even more about the Laurel Highlands and why we're so special.
Well, thank you. And we're going to move forward throughout different locations right now, and all of these people are on the Pour Tour. So we can't wait to show you what we have planned for tonight. Stay tuned. Right now is our first stop at Laurel Highlands Meadery in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, and today we are going to learn all things mead. I can't wait. I've never tried it before, so come along, let's go. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
I'm sure, like myself, our viewers might want to know, what is mead?
So mead at the simplest is honey, water, and yeast. So you mix the honey and water together. You add the yeast, that's what actually creates the alcohol, and there you go. Is it beer? Is it wine? It's its own thing. Okay. So everybody asks, is it a beer? Is it a wine? It would be kind of like considering cider being a beer. Okay. They're close, but they're not the same thing. So mead is just another category of alcohol. We like to say it's the oldest fermented beverage nobody has ever heard of. So it's definitely coming of age now. People are rediscovering it, as you will.
Right, so, right.
And we're very excited to be there. All right. So the basics of mead, like I mentioned, would be honey, water, and yeast. So typically everybody's used to the honey that comes in these nice little half-pound containers. Right. Well, we actually use the 60-pound containers. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we'll go through maybe 12 to 15 of those per batch. Okay. So and how many is in a batch? Bottles, I guess, right? Oh, lots. Lots. Okay. Yeah, it all varies. There's a little bit of loss from filtering, or if you add fruits, if you add spices, different things like that. So the number will vary a little bit. And you're using honey that's local, correct? Yeah. So we're using Bedillion's honey. They're local. They have hives all over the place. So the honey is added in different ratios. Okay. So depending on how strong you want it, you'll add more honey, less honey, more water, less water. Like we have two different varieties. So we have our kind of wine-like, I would say, strength, about 13% alcohol. Okay. And then we make another variety that's about 7.5%. So the lower alcohol one is carbonated, chilled down. So it kind of has that carbonation and kind of the beer type. And that's what you have over here, right? So correct. That's on tap, and then we've also got the bottle. So it is kind of a mixture of wine and beer. Yeah, a little bit of everything. Yeah. All right, cool. And we're going to actually taste a few things, and then we're going to head off to our next adventure.
So this is what, the traditional
This
blend?
is our traditional mead made with local wildflower honey.
Ooh, it smells amazing. Well, let's give it a shot here. Cheers. Oh my goodness. I never would have expected that taste. That's incredible.
It's different than
It really,
pretty much anything else.
It really is. It's not wine and it's not beer. It's mead, right?
Right.
I mean, it is its own thing. So, all right. And then we have one over here as well.
We do.
All right. I'm going to take another sip first.
So we have a lot of different flavors here. The blackberry mango has been very popular. We do a mango habanero that people love.
Let's do the blackberry mango. That sounds good.
You got it. There we are.
Right.
This one you'll notice, you have, more of the blackberry, more of the fruit flavors in this one.
Okay.
So yeah, a little bit different of a color.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh
So
goodness.
it's a lot lighter.
Yeah.
A lot, fruitier.
Taste the berry, definitely. That is delicious. Mm. Delicious. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is quite an amazing thing, starting at home and ending up here. So now number 2 in Pennsylvania. So everybody, I hope you'll come over here to south of Greensburg in the Laurel Highlands and grab your Pour Tour books, because you can get a sticker here for each purchase and you're gonna collect some amazing prizes. So we'll see you at the next stop. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are at Chapel Hill Wines in Dawson, Pennsylvania. They are also a Pour Tour participant. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And today we're just going to talk a little bit with Brian about Chapel Hill. It's a really awesome space here, Brian.
Thank you.
Definitely unique.
Okay.
And it's off the beaten path, which
It
I
is.
really enjoyed driving here.
It's out in the country. We enjoy the space out here, as do our customers.
So how did you get started making wine?
Yeah, so we've been making wine for probably 20 years
Wow.
for our own enjoyment. You know,
Okay.
I enjoy wine, and so we made it for a number of years. Friends and family, hey, hook me up, And so after a while, they said, hey, can I buy some? And of course you can't in Pennsylvania,
Right.
because you have to be licensed. We went through the licensing process, which was pretty long process.
Sure.
And we decided, hey, this was hard enough that we need to make this a little more than just a friends and family deal. And so we did. We started off with a couple lawn chairs here in front of the fireplace, a little table, and it's grown to what it is right now, to the place that we have to move to the other location that we're going to see in just a couple minutes. And yeah, it's become a lot more than we thought it was going to be.
That is really exciting. So let's go taste some wine.
Let's do it. This is our sparkling cranberry. We made it for the holidays, and we have a little extra that I wanted you to try.
I'm excited. I told him I like the sweet, bubbly wine, so.
This is where I get nervous when people taste.
It's delicious.
Yeah,
I
good,
love
good,
it.
good. Excellent.
So what's the name of this so people know?
It's just a cranberry, sparkling cranberry, and you can only get that here at Chapel Hill. We don't bottle it. It's only for those who come in frequent.
See?
But we do have that on a still basis, and yeah, we have it bottled, and it's still, and you can get a bottle yourself. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get a little tour.
Yeah.
So why don't we, do you want to taste test anything else before we head up?
I think you should.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's do it.
absolutely.
Okay.
Well, listen, the first time we entered a wine competition, it was a great international wine competition in New York. Look, we didn't anticipate winning anything like that, but as it turns out, we won a second place, a silver medal for our black currant, and there were about 140 some countries competing, and so we were kind of excited when that happened.
That's a pretty big deal. So
Matter of fact, do you want to taste some?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that's our black currant.
Wow. That is
I'm glad you like it.
You've got to try this.
So this is the black cherry, and this is the mixed drink I was telling you about. So we take black cherry and we put it over ice, which makes it nice and cold and refreshing, especially this time of year. We love how cold it is. So, and then we take a little bit of butter pecan. We take about a shot of that.
Yum.
And we put that in. Now, I'm not going to measure today because I have super accurate pouring.
Did you come up with this concoction yourself?
Well, I can't take all the credit. We were sitting here on a Sunday afternoon. It wasn't busy, and we started tasting. So you can imagine what happened. So that's how this is called the black side of the moon.
Oh my goodness, what is that?
This is a a double chocolate moonshine. And so then you take and you stir it up just a little bit, and I'll let you do that.
It's gonna taste like a chocolate covered cherry.
You taste it and you tell me what it tastes like. Yeah, I'd mix it up, absolutely.
I love chocolate covered cherries. Drink it through the straw or no?
Nope, I'd just take a taste of it.
Okay. Cheers. First of all, it smells incredible. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
That's the reaction. That's what we want.
My favorite. Now, anyone can get this?
Absolutely.
Or is this just special for like when you're finished working and everybody's...
No. We offer this to all of our customers. Absolutely. It is a delicious drink, isn't it?
It's truly like a chocolate covered cherry.
Yeah.
It really is. And we were talking earlier, the taste kind of stays there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, delicious.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it.
So right now we are in what was your original space where you
Absolutely.
started, and you're growing into a much bigger space.
Yeah, you'll see we're going to go up in just a minute if we can, and we'll go up into where we do all of the making of the wine, and we're developing it right now to have a new tasting room for our customers to enjoy on a larger scale.
Fantastic, let's
Great.
go. I'm going to bring this with me.
Nice. All right, so Kelly, you asked me about how we make wine.
Yep.
Well, for us, most of our wine is made from juice, fresh juice. It's not fermented yet. We bring it here, and then we put it in, we have tanks that we ferment in, plastic tanks, put the yeast in and so on, and then it ferments, and then we want to age it. So and that's what these barrels are for.
Fermenters.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And so we take the wine and we pump it into these tanks, like for example here.
Okay.
It's 55 gallon of Petite Syrah. We put that in there probably in November, and it's going to age for a minimum of 6 months, depending on the tasting notes, but probably 6 months, and then we'll bottle it, probably age it another 2 or 3 months after that. And it's going to be amazing. I've sampled it along the way, and it has some notes right now that it's turning out really well.
Wow.
Sangiovese, Cabernet Sauvignon, and these are some of the Northern Hemisphere grapes that we get. We get them from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
We also get them from South Africa and Chile, Argentina, Italy, California. And so these we can harvest 2 times a year.
Okay.
Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. This is the Northern Hemisphere wines that's part of our harvest.
And so beyond the grapes, is there any other flavoring that's included to make these wines unique and special?
We have a philosophy that we want to taste the grape. But we do also something very interesting here. We don't oak our wine. The reason we don't oak it is because if we do, it kind of covers up the bottom 25% of the flavor profile of the grape. So if I leave that oak out, the tannins aren't there, and what happens is you'll taste, when you taste our dry red, our Cabernet Sauvignon, you're going to taste all of the grape. And what's interesting, it will be completely dry, and yet you'll taste a little sweetness because your palate's going to pick up something of that grape it's never tasted before.
Wow.
And it's kind of fun.
That is fun.
And it's kind of a trademark of what we do.
This
Absolutely.
was really informative. I learned a lot today.
Well, thanks for coming out. I appreciate you all coming out.
Thank you. All right, you guys, you got to come this way. Chapel Hill Wines, Dawson, Pennsylvania. Come here soon. Okay, so we are here at Terra Vineyards, and we're with Joanna Bell, co-owner, correct, with your husband. I just wanted to say, being here now, it's truly remarkable what you guys have built. I've been here since the very beginning, and to just take a look around and take it all in, it's amazing. Can you just tell us a little bit about how it got started and how you've grown?
I think growth is the best way to describe what's happening with
Absolutely.
lately. We expanded. We have a couple of new tasting rooms. We have a new location in Bedford.
Yes, that's right.
Working on, and we just planted 12 acres of vines down the road. So like growth is just happening in all aspects.
Incredible.
With Terra.
And then you also have igloos, is that right?
We do, yes.
Yeah, so you can actually dine during the winter outside in this cute little igloo as well. So there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of events here as well. And then you are most known for the Sweet Findlay, is that right?
I think that has been changing, but yes, Sweet Findlay's always been one of our staples.
So what's the new one?
The new most popular is the Blanc de Blanc in a can.
Okay, awesome.
It's a dry sparkling Chardonnay. It's a premier wine. It's good quality, but it does come in a can, so it's great for portability.
Absolutely.
Our Joey, our bartender, he calls it, you know, a celebration to go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had that before. It is delicious.
Yep.
So we really thank you for being a part of Pour Tour. We look forward to 3.0 and all that's to come. We really value you as a partner, and I'm just really excited to be here today. So thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. I was just telling Ann that the passport has gotten so thick.
I know.
I remember the first one. It was just, you know, it's also grown so much.
It has. I think
really
we have 58 stops now, so it definitely has grown.
Okay, it's great for everybody.
It is. It is. Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we're here at West Overton Museum and another location for our Pour Tour. They are located in Scottdale in Westmoreland County, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here. It's not just whiskey making, it's also a historic museum, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the history of whiskey and why this museum and exhibit came to be?
Yeah, sure. So I would say we're primarily a museum. We're a museum historic site first, and then actually a distillery second, which I think actually can work in everyone's favor. So West Overton started in 1803 with the Overholt family, most notably Abraham Overholt, who, if anyone still drinks Old Overholt whiskey, his face is still on that bottle today.
Okay.
That's produced by our friends Jim Beam. So they started making whiskey here very early on, and they came right on the tails of the whiskey insurrection. That was 1791 to 94. And there are plenty of people more suited to talk about that than me. But after that insurrection was ended, a lot of people think that distillers moved to Kentucky and started making whiskey there. But really, a lot of people continued to make whiskey, and new people came to this area and started making whiskey. One of them, Abraham Overholt.
Right.
Unfortunately, a little thing comes along in 1920 called, well, the Volstead Act, then Prohibition, which closes this building for good.
Wow.
This site opened as a museum 8 years later in 1928. And by the way, we're experiencing now our 95th anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
As a historic site. Thank you.
That's phenomenal.
Thank you. And this building opened as a museum shortly thereafter. So this 1859 building houses our museum. We're standing in our newest exhibition. It's called Forging Ahead and Falling Behind.
Incredible job, by the way.
Thank you. And so this, for the first time, we're able to feature real people who lived here in this town.
Right.
And this town grew around that whiskey distillery. So the stories about the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the everyday working class people that to this point we weren't able to talk about. Also on site, we have our new distillery. So in 2014, we saw that whiskey, especially rye, was making a comeback, and here in Pennsylvania especially. So it's part of our story, and nobody can do whiskey more authentically than we can.
That's a big undertaking.
Yeah, and it certainly was, and it took actually about 6 years to get everything in order. We retrofitted, adaptively reused an old barn here. That's now our distillery. And we started making rye whiskey in the spirit of the way it was done all those years ago. Our techniques are modern, our recipe is our own, but we're doing what is generally understood to be the type of whiskey made here in this area before Prohibition.
So as a Pour Tour stop,
Yeah.
do you have specific hours where people can go to drink, and then are there specific hours where they can come to this exhibit?
The distillery's hours change seasonally. So right now,
The best place to kind of get that information would be on your website?
on our website and social media for
Okay.
sure. And please check that before you make the trip out here to figure out the distillery's closed.
Right.
Because we'll both be disappointed if you do that.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so usually in the summer after May, the distillery will be open Saturdays, maybe Saturdays and Sundays. Please check online before coming out.
So what can you tell people watching today about your whiskey? What makes it unique?
So first of all, it's a rye whiskey, which I think is already fairly unusual across the country. And there's nowhere else you're going to go and sample a whiskey that is made at the home of somebody as critical to whiskey history as Abraham Overholt.
That is pretty cool.
So whenever you're here, you're sharing floors with this master whiskey distiller. You're sharing floors with Henry Clay Frick, a master industrialist. So that's why you have to come here to get our product, because we want you to experience that history. It's almost a reverence that comes with being here.
Right.
So there's a part of an experience that comes with it that you can't get anywhere else.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. It was really great being here today. And all of you guys, if you love history, if you love whiskey, this is the place to be. Hey guys, we are now here at Tattiebogle CiderWorks. So I'm here with Kurt, the owner, and we are super excited to be here today. Why apples?
Well, Pennsylvania actually was the alcohol making colony for the rest of the colonies back in the day. And cider was one of the big products. New York and Pennsylvania's, both states are perfect for growing apples, and Pennsylvania has a really long history, and we wanted to bring that history back.
So I was told on the slide here that you were actually a musician in a past life, is that correct?
I was, yeah.
Okay, and so you kind of went musician into cider maker. Do you call it cider maker? Is there
Yeah,
another term for it?
no, cider maker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you also do not drink, correct?
Correct.
That's quite a combination.
Yeah.
So whenever you're making the cider as a non-drinker, how does that process work?
I have lots of willing tasters.
I bet you do.
Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm sort of like a vegetarian chef that cooks steaks, you know, that they can't taste it, but
That's perfect. I'm vegetarian. So
yeah, so
I get it.
they can cook, you know, Michelin-starred steaks,
Yeah.
but they don't taste it. So
Right.
same kind of thing. You've done it
Okay.
enough, you get in your head how things will taste after they're fermented.
So you guys, of course, are in our Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. But I am so excited to be here today. I haven't been here yet. And just a little bit of what's going on with the decor and so forth. You were telling us earlier that Tattiebogle actually means
Potato ghost.
potato ghost.
Yeah. Tatty means potato. Bogle in Gaelic is ghost. So potato ghost is what in the UK they call a scarecrow.
A scarecrow. So tell our viewers, what are the most popular ciders at the moment?
So all of our stuff's gluten-free. It's also sugar-free.
Wow.
So it's
I didn't know that.
It is you know, celiac and gluten-sensitive people friendly, as well as diabetic friendly.
That's really cool.
So the pear snaster is probably our most popular. The wee Geordies, very popular.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
That's
hop
a
in it.
dry hopped
Yeah,
cider.
Really?
And
So you say hopped.
hopped.
Okay.
Yeah, dry hop.
Cool.
And then the 'tis the seasons, those are our seasonals. They change every 3 months, and those get really popular when in the seasonals. And then a lot of times our Kilderkin, which is our that's kind of my sandbox or playground, where I just make up flavors, throw them against the wall, see if they stick or not. So pear snaster actually started as a Kilderkin. It was so popular.
That's German, right? Kilderkin?
It's actually a barrel in the English,
Okay.
but the word probably is German. It's a small barrel in the English cask system.
Okay. All right,
So-
cool. So
so-
I've learned a lot today.
Yeah.
So what can I take away from this process that might be different from making wine or beer or mead?
Well, because I'm inherently lazy, this is actually the easiest of the craft
Is it
beverages.
really?
There's no hot side like beer.
Okay.
We don't have the long aging that you have with mead and wine. So in 4 to 6 weeks, we can have drinkable cider.
Wonderful.
We make cider that's aged, and that's more our top shelf stuff, but
Right.
it's a little more of a more experienced cider drinkers taste, because it's just blends of apples and there's no sugar whatsoever, so they're very dry, like a dry white wine almost.
Okay. Cool. Well, we really appreciate you being on the Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. Thank you so much. You're
Well, thanks for stopping.
Yeah, you're an incredible partner. We had a great time here today, and I can't wait to come back.
All right, awesome.
Thank
Look
you so
forward to it.
much.
Thanks.
All right, you guys, we are at our final stop of the evening on our pour tour. We're super excited to be at Unity Brewing in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And again, they are one of our incredible partners and stops on our Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. So how long have you guys been at this location? How long have you been at it? And what's your passion and why you got into this in the first place?
So we've been here since early March 2020.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Had about a week and a half of normal business, and
Yes.
then shifted gears and did the best we could through COVID.
Right.
My background is as a home brewer. A lot of us are that
Very
way.
Cool.
That just kind of, you know, it caught me at a early age, and
I love it. It became a passion.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you know, you have a lot of friends that tell you that your beer is good, and they're just being your friends.
Are they gonna buy it?
That's
the
right.
question, right?
Yeah. So once I think we got to a point where my friends were like, no, seriously, like this is really good. So.
And so tonight, just so you guys know, we did a pairing. So it was pairing with the beer and the food, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, so who came up with that?
When we heard you guys wanted to include us in a stop, I just kind of thought it might be nice for you to get a nice little taste of kind of everything that we do, both the beer and the food. So yeah, it just seemed like a no-brainer. Like, I have been to beer pairings, and when they're done well, they're really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you wouldn't think to pair certain things with certain beers, and it's nice when you have some insight and you can kind of maybe step outside. Maybe it was a beer you wouldn't normally order. But with the food, hopefully it was a nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's been your most enjoyable thing about this whole process from beginning to now?
I'll tell you what, the most enjoyable thing for me was the most unexpected thing for me, and that was, you know, I think for anybody in my position, it would be that people love your beer, and you know, of course the food like we talked about, but the most enjoyable thing for me has been allowing our team to really play to their strengths.
Nice.
So like Alan, our head brewer,
is he the one doing the music tonight?
he is.
Okay.
And he was not a brewer before
Wow.
he came to work for us, and helped us really a lot through the remodel, which we all did ourselves. Wow. You know, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this place.
That's kind of what we're gathering throughout the whole Laurel Highlands region. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really humbling to kind of meet all of you and to know what, like, all that's gone into this.
Yeah.
We're so proud to be a part of, like, elevating you and your brand.
And we're glad to have you.
And how has the Pour Tour gone for you guys so far?
Well, you know, early on, we just missed the cutoff.
You did.
But we were
For the very first
we
one?
were a little add-on in the back,
Okay.
and we had plenty of customers that we did that with. We actually didn't even have stickers. We had a stamp made that you guys gave us the okay, because it was like we couldn't, you know, we just were too late to the party.
Too late to the party.
Yeah, we were. But through a lot of, you know, when we had the partial shutdowns through the pandemic, a lot of our clientele were coming because of the Pour Tour.
Yeah,
and
they wanted to get out.
And we wanted them to get out, trust me. So we feel really blessed to be where we are, having you guys. You know, this is your thing.
It's all of our thing.
And this is, you know, the beer and the food and the pub and the atmosphere, that's our thing. And you guys kind of go to bat to us, for us, and we're appreciative for that.
Thank you so much.
So it's good having you.
We are just so excited. If we haven't sold you on Pour Tour and Laurel Highlands, I don't know what else is going to do it, but you've got to come out here. You've got to check out the food at Unity Brewing. You've got to check out the brew. My favorite, I'm gluten-free, but I cheated, is that vanilla one that you guys have. But what's your most popular? Just let them know.
Our most popular beer is Vanilla Bean Blonde.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
both in the pub and our wholesale accounts.
All right, cool.
We sell more Vanilla Bean Blonde than anything else.
Oh, I wish I could drink a bunch of it.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Good for you.
Hey,
Good
and
for
come
you.
and get your sticker in your book.
Yes, stickers and books. We also have the app, so check in on the app as well. So you guys have a great rest of your night, and check out the Laurel Highlands Pour Tour. We're waiting for you. Special thanks to our Laurel Highlands Pour Tour partners who participated in today's episode. Be sure to pick up your 3.0 passport or download the Pour Tour app for free on iTunes and Google Play stores. You can share your progress on social media with hashtag LHPourTour. Please drink responsibly. Six Pour Tour stops down and only 52 more to go. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next adventure.